Hi guys, this is Ashok Reddy. Today we will discuss data type in Java. Before going to discuss data type in Java, yesterday we discussed what is data, what is comment, what is identifier, and what is keyword. Yesterday we discussed comments, identifier, and keyword. Correct? And keywords in Java. And tell me why comment. Comments are meant for developer to understand the purpose. And comment, three types of comments is there. One is single line comment, second one is multi-line comment, third one is document comment. Single line comment, what are the single line comment we can represent slash slash like that. Okay, can represent like that. If you want to, if you want to more than one line comment, more than one line comment, we can represent. We can use this comment. Okay, if you want to prepare any documentation, you can use this comments. Okay, then tell me identifier. What is the identifier? Identifier identifiers are any class name, any variable name, and method name and main method. These are the identifiers. Okay, any name. Okay, either class name, variable name, and method name, and main method and argument. Any name. These are the identifier. Identifiers are whenever writing, we have some rule. We have some rules and regulations is there. We can follow the regulation. What are the rules and rules is there? Identifier must be start A to Z, start with A to Z, small A to Z and capital A to Z, and special character allowed only, and under dollar and underscore. Never start with a number. Second one is never start with a number. Okay, never start with a number. And second digits onward you can use. Okay, and there should not be any space. Any two word, you cannot use any space. Any two words between, don't you should not use any space. Okay, suppose here first program is there. In these two words, don't use space. If you want to write any under in between, you can connect with underscore dollar. You can use like that. Okay, any two special characters is there, and dollar and underscore and dollars are allowed. Okay, two special characters are allowed, underscore and dollar. And then, and Java is case sensitive. Int a is a variable, int capital A is a variable, int a equal 10, int a equal to 20. These two are different. This small a and capital A are not same. These two are different. So that is the reason Java is a case sensitive. Then keywords are, we cannot use them as identifier. Already we discussed 53 keywords is there, and including true and false. Okay. Now these 53 keywords not cannot use as identifier. Okay. We can use any length as identifier. We can use any length. Okay. Can use any length. This is the variable int a. We can use any length. Can use any length, not a issue, but it is not recommended. Can not recommended. Okay, Java not recommended. Okay, then what is the keyword? Already we discussed, right? Keyword 53 keywords is there. Okay, and including true, false, and null. Okay, also reserved but not used keyword. Okay, then we will discuss data type. Then tell me what is the use of data type? What is the need of data type? It is used to data types are used to data types are used to store store data used to store data temporarily. Store data temporarily. Data types are used to store data temporarily. For example, can data types are divided into two types. One is primitive data type, another one is non-primitive data type. Data types are divided into primitive data type, another one is non-primitive data type. Then tell me, one is primitive data type, and second one is non-primitive data type. Non-primitive data type. Primitive data types are used to primitive data types are used to store. Hmm? Primitive data types are used to store single single value at a time. Primitive data types are used to store single value at a time. Correct? Na? Then mm, non-primitive data types are non-primitive data types are used to store multiple value. Non-primitive non-primitive data types are used to store used to store multiple multiple value. Okay. Then tell me one thing. How many ways we can store the data? Huh? How many ways we can how many ways we can store the data? How many ways we can store the data? How many ways we can store the data? One is we can store the data in variable. We can store the data in variable, and also we can store the data in class or array. Okay. And another one is files, and fourth one is fourth one is data. If you want to store the data variable, if you want to store the data variable, it is temporarily. If you want to store the data in variable, or if you want to store the data in variable and classes and array, it is temporarily. You can store the data in variable temporarily. Temporarily. You can store the data in variable and sorry, arrays and classes also temporarily. You store the data in variable and database. It is permanent. And database also can store the data permanently. Store the data permanently. Okay. Okay. Then already, if you want to store the data in variable, already we have variable. Why arrays or classes is there? Why arrays and classes interfaces are there? If you want to store the data, if you want to store the data in variable, int a equal to 10 into a equal 10, you can store the data in temporarily. For example, I want to store the data another variable. I want to store the data in another value, suppose 20, but we can't store the data at a time in another variable. We can store the data in, if you want to store the data, if you want to store the value, you can create another variable, int, int a1 equal to 20 like that. Okay. You can't store the data in variable at a time. Another variable. If you want to store the data in another variable at a time, that is not possible. Okay. If you want to store the data in another value, you can create another variable. Okay. I think so. You can understood, right? For example, I want to store the data. I want to, for example, for example, I want to store the data. I want to store multiple value 1 to 100. 1 to 100. I want to store the data in 1 to 100. 1 minute. This is the pen. I want to store the data in 1 to 100. Then we must create 100 variable. 100 variable. Must create must create must create 100 variable. Must create 100 variable. All those 100 variables are across JVM at different locations at. Okay, can different location it will store. Okay, these are these 100 variables are 100 values are stored across in JVM at different location. In this case, whenever we are retrieving value, it is taken more time. Okay, in this case, it will retrieve the value. It will it will take the more time. It will take the more time for retrieving. More time to it will take the more time to retrieve the value. Okay. So so to solve this problem, arrays or classes comes into picture. Okay. We can store the arrays and values in different values. Okay. Different types of values we can store in arrays and classes. Okay, but files and database are stored in temporarily, can discuss later. Okay. Hmm. Here uh, we have already diagram. Okay, then and numeric and data type. Primitive data types are divided into two. Numeric data type, one is non-numeric data type, and again numeric data types are divided into two. One is integer data type, one is floating point data type. Integer data types is a int, byte, short, long. These four integer data types is there. Default type integer data type is default is integer. One is integer data type. Another one is another one is another one is floating point data type. Okay. Integer data type by default type is int. Okay. By default type is int. But by default floating point data type is double. Okay, we'll discuss later. And here, here, byte size is 2 byte, and int is byte is two bytes, and short is byte is 1 byte. Byte size is 1 byte, and short size is 2 byte, and int is 4, and long is 4 bytes. Okay, and floating point 4 bytes, and double is 8 bytes. Okay, character is 2 byte, and boolean is true or false is there. Okay, but default value is 0. Integer data type default value is 0, and floating point data type default value is 0 0.0, and character default value is, and one space, some in internet they are showing on white space, and here okay, like that is there. Okay, but you can't see this default value. Okay, default value is false. Default boolean value is false. Okay, then we'll see programmatically. I think you guys can understood, right? Can we revise all those things? What we discussed? What is the use of data type? Data types are used to store. Data types are used to store data temporarily. Data types are used to store data temporarily. Okay. Here, two types of data type is, one is primitive data type. Second one is non-primitive data type. It is also called a reference data type. It is also called reference data type. Okay. But here, what is the use of primitive data type? Primitive data types are used to store single value at a time. It is used to store single value at a time. But non-primitive data types are used to store multiple value. Non-primitive data types are used to store multiple value. For example, here, what are the example? Already we discussed. What are the example? Arrays, arrays, and classes, and what are this? And interface, and enum. Okay. Here we'll write one program. Okay. I'm going to write one program. File, new, Java. Okay. Example. This is the primitive data type, right? Example underscore primitive data type. I'm going to write one method. I'm going to write one method. Public, public static void main. Public static void main. Here in printing. Public static void M1 method. Here, public static void M1 method. Here, I'm writing uh, int int I int I. Here, int param int int param. Okay. Then same thing. I'm creating one more method. Creating one more method. Okay. Here, I'm to by byte 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 B, chart S, and one more. This is the data types, okay? Byte chart, okay. Int I, okay. And one more thing, long, right? Long L, long L. This is the byte data type, byte param. This is the short param. This is the int param. This is the long param. The long param. Now I'm going to execute main method. Okay, putting. I'm saving. I'm going to save here program. To save software and Java training and program. What is the file name? Example underscore into data type dot Java. Save it. Okay. Example underscore primitive data type Java. Okay. Here I'm going to compile tools Control+1. Compilation successfully. Okay. Then I'm going to run. Go to tools. Run. Now successfully only main method is executed. Okay. Now what I'm saying here, what I'm doing, M1, 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 I'm giving 5. I'm giving value integer as 5. I'm giving 5. What I'm told here, what I give a statement by default, by default, integer data type is int. By default type is int. Okay. So it is going to call int. Here all method is same, but different type is different. Method is same, but different type is different. Okay. Whenever just remember, whenever static method is there, we can call directly without creating object. Without creating object, we can call without creating object. We can call without creating object. We can call directly method name, and also we can call class name dot m1. We can class name dot m1 also we can call. Already we discussed previous classes. Okay, but here one more point added. Whenever static method is there, we can call directly method name. Okay, or can call and also can call class name dot m1. Okay, one more time. Whenever static method is there, without creating object, we can call m1 method name. We can call m1 method. Okay, you can call method name and also class name dot m1, class name dot method name. Okay, I think you can clear. Now I'm going to call M1. It is going to int because by default integer type is int. Okay, it is going to go int. For example, I'm calling M1. First of all, I'm going to execute control S, control 1, compilation done, control 2, yeah, int param, correct? Na? Now, one more time. Now, I'm going to how to call byte. For example, I'm creating byte byte b equal to byte b equal to 10. Byte b equal to 10. I'm going to call, you can give byte b equal to 10. It will call byte param. If I'm going to give m1, m1, don't give 10b like that. Okay, this is the integer. You can say 10b, but it will give compile time error. Okay, because this integer by default is int. That's why can directly I am giving. Okay, don't give byte. You can create variable, then we can pass. Okay, then I'm going to write byte sorry short s equal to short s equal to 10. Can give any name s equal to 10, 20, anything. Then one more thing I'm going to pass. Sorry, here you can pass b. Here you can pass yes. Okay, control s, control 1. Yes. Here what is expected? Semicolon is expected. Correct? Na? Okay. Semicolon is expected. Close it. Can give semicolon. Control S. Control 1. Compilation successful. Then control 2. Yeah. What is this? What is this? It is M1 is calling int param. M2 is calling byte param. The S is calling to short param. Okay. If you have doubt, you can keep concatenate. If you have doubt, you guys can doubt. I can give byte b. You can print variable like that. Okay, not a issue. You can concatenate. You can concatenate it. Yes, yes also. Okay, can give space. Right. And concatenate. So integer I. You can concatenate long L. Okay. Control F, control 1, and control 2. Compilation done. Now going to execute. Yes. Okay. Now see int param, int param, int param, and byte 10 and short is 20. Okay. I think you guys can understood, right? Then enter. Then how you can call long? You can call long M1 10b if you are passing 10b. Okay. If you're passing 10b, b is a byte, correct? Na? You can try this one. Control 1. Yes, this is not right, correct na? But you can give long length is L, okay? You can try. Then you can give one more 30. Control yes. Control one, yes, compilation is done. Control two, yes. Int, byte, short, long, correct na? Then next, one more thing. You can see floating point, right na? What I'm saying, floating point by default is double, correct na? Float, float, one also can give float, float parent can give F, can print F, can give W, pick your double parent can give D. Okay, control S, can pass here M1, I'm passing 10 point, sorry, can give 40 point. What I'm told, by default floating point data type is double. So it will call double data type. But integer data type is by default type is int. So it is calling int. So you can see control one. Yeah, compile success. Control two. Yes. Double parameter is calling na, but not float. Okay. Because floating point data type by default is type is double. Okay. How you want to call? You can see M1 can try same 50.50.0 F. You can try this way. It will how which one calling which method it will call control S, control S. This is control two. Yes, which one is calling floating point. Okay. Then one more point you guys can remember. Whenever in C language, int by default if you have to mention int in C language, if you have to mention, I will tell you, you guys can remember this thing. Int in C language, I'm telling in C language, in C language, C language, in C language, int I1, int I equal to 10.0, 10.0. Then in C language, 10 point is there in C language. It is correct. It will call int only. Okay. It is correct only. Okay. But Java, it is not correct. Okay. So in Java, it will give compile time. Okay. It will give compile time error. And if you float f equal to f equal to 20.0, then in C language it is correct. It will take it. It will correct only. But the floating point not like that. In Java, it will give error. It will give error. If you want, you can try here. If you are giving 14.10, sorry, if you give floating f equal to 20.10, then you can try what will happen. Floating point when you give control S, it can M1 can call F, control S, control 1 S. Incompatible type, possible logic conversion from double to float. It will give conversion is not going to double to float. Okay, but integer, but C language not like that. Okay, it will give. It is not giving an error. Okay, then you can give error in this case. One more. In double, you can give double d equal to 20.0. Then in C language, it is fine, it is correct, not an issue. But here also, Java also not an issue because by default, it is called to by default it is going to call uh, double data type. Correct? Now already we discussed. So for example, here double, I'm calling M1 double D control S control 1. Yeah. Cannot be find symbol. Okay. Okay, spell mistake. Control S, control 1. Control S, control 1. Okay. Now compilation done. Okay. We'll call double. It is calling double. By default, floating point type A double. Okay. Then copy only character. Char C. Here. One more thing. If you want how to how it will resolve here, can give int. For example, here you can give int can how to resolve in Java. I will tell you how to resolve in Java. Int I equal 10.0 can give int. You can give typecasting. Okay. Control S. One more one. Float. Already agreed. Float. How to resolve this one? Can give floating point. You can give either small letter or capital letter. Okay. No problem. Then How to convert double? This is not an issue, right? Then you can give FDI, correct? No? No. This is the protein. Before calling M1, M1 to call what is this int? I'm going to give I1. Okay. Ratio, any variable name you can give, okay? I1. But variable name is unique, okay? Identifier, you can remember, guys. Identifier is unique, okay? Identifier is unique element, okay? Control this. Always different, not same. Then control one. What is the character? Okay, 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 okay. We'll remove, later we'll discuss, okay? Control one. Yeah, compilation is successful. Now, correct na? Int is 10, floating point, int is 10, int is 10. Then copy this int 10 and floating point 16 point, floating point 16.0. Double is 20, correct na? This is the output. Then close it. You guys can understood, right? How to resolve this one? Can keep it in Java. In Java, you can give. In Java, you can give. How to resolve? Int. You can convert int. Here float. Float f equal to 20. Okay. Can give. Yeah. Okay. Can resolve like that. Okay. Control S. Hmm. Then here I'm going to discuss character, right? Okay. Copy one more method, character. Okay. Here, what we have to do, public static void m, public static void m1. Here is the character. Char, sorry, here is char, small letter only. Char, so that I'm getting error. Char ch, okay. Then char boolean, sorry, char parent can give ch. Okay. Control this. Here, we will discuss now and boolean and integer. Boolean by default, Boolean is by default value is and type is by default value is false. Okay, but here character is space. But here enclosed with single character. Any character enclosed with single quotation. Okay, but one space, either one in single quote, either one space or one character only allowed. But two space or two characters are not allowed. Only characters are allowed enclosed with one space and one letter only. Okay. One more time. One more time. Any char sorry. Any characters are enclosed with single quotation, only allowed one letter or one space, okay, other than not allowed, okay, one character or one space allowed, okay. If you are writing two space or two letters, not allowed. Single digits allowed, but double digits not allowed, okay. For example, here already given diagram, okay. Here characters are 2 bytes and boolean is 1 byte. If you are writing character ch4 character single quotation enclosed with single quotation, it is allowed. Enclosed with one space, it is allowed. Empty space, empty space, not allowed. Empty space, not allowed. Here double digits, double space is there, okay. Here double space is there. You can see 1, 2. Double space also not allowed, okay. Here just remember, only only one character is allowed. Only one character and space is allowed. Only one character and space is allowed. Just remember, only one character, only one character, one space is allowed. But empty character is not allowed. Empty character is not allowed. Okay. Just character you can see. What is that? Floating point, a non-numeric data type is character and boolean. Okay. Then here boolean, we will use boolean value for checking condition. What is the purpose we have to use? We will use boolean value for checking condition, either true or false. Okay. Then you can see M1, M1. You can give empty character, empty space. Okay. Then enter M1. Here you can write any method. Here I'm writing any boolean, right? Boolean, boolean, boolean vivo, boolean vivo. Here vivo, boolean param. Here also vivo. Here if vivo equal to true, vivo equal to true. Here double equal, it will check condition. Okay, double equal to operator, it will check the condition. If you give one only equal, this is assignment operator. Here you will check the condition. Okay. Here, if you write the true, then you can type what you have to do. Send out println boolean param is vivo. Okay. Then here else if you give another than, you can print, right? What you want to print, can give space. controllers can give directly true, not as true. Then compile control one. Yeah, compilation is done. Control two. Yeah. What will happen? What will happen here? Here, M1, M1 empty space, M1 empty space call into character, correct na? Char param, character method is calling. Here boolean equal true, boolean is going to true, boolean equal to true, then it is condition is satisfying true, then it will give boolean param is true, correct na? Boolean param is true. If you give false, what happen? It will give false only. It will skip, right? It will skip the this condition is this is the false, it is going to false, correct na? It also false, then it will skip the then going to here bo, here what happen? False, false double equal to true, and if this is here condition is false, then it will going to here, it will give the else statement, correct na? Here it will give else statement, it will give false. Okay, just you can write else statement. Here is if statement. Okay. Okay. Control one, control two. Yeah, give false statement, right? Then it will execute else statement. Correct na? Then what is the next? Yeah. Now we will discuss what we discuss here. Data types in Java. What is the use of data type? What is the use of data type? Data type is used to store data temporarily, not permanent. Data type used to store temporarily, but here two types, it will divide it into two types. One is primitive data type, one is non-primitive data type. It is also called reference data type. Primitive data type used to store single value at a time, okay? But non-primitive data type used to store multiple values using multiple values. It is used to storing multiple values of one group with single name, okay? One group with single name. Then here, it is primitive data types divided into already discussed here. If you store variable in, if you want to store variable at a time, it will store the variable in any value. One value only it will store at a time. Okay. If you want to store another variable, you can create one more variable. Okay. Numeric data type. What is this? Primitive data type divided into numeric data type and non-numeric data type. Numeric data type again divided into integer data type and floating point data type. In integer data type by default type is int. Floating point data type by default is double. Okay. Already we programmatically program already we are discussed. Okay. Practically we discussed. Okay. Now byte is 1 byte and short is 2 byte and int is 4 byte and long is 8 byte. This is the size. One more thing here, int. Int is used to store integer. Int is used to store integer. Okay. What is the use of int? Used to store integer only. Correct? Na? But long to store long integer number. For example, debit card number and credit card, suppose debit card account, debit account number, debit card and credit card number, then we can use long only, right? But because that is the range is more, okay? Then byte. Byte is used for sending data. For example, this is one computer. This is remote computer. This is one current computer. This is one computer. This is the remote computer. Okay, I am sending data to. I am sending data to store in file or sending data to through network. Sending data through network in terms of binary digit value. Okay, suppose I am sending value int a equal to 5 into a, for example. For example, this is the client computer. This is the client computer. This is the remote computer. This is the remote remote computer. I want to send the data to the. I want to send the data to. I want to. I want to send the data to remote computer. Then that time can at that time we can send the data through network in terms of binary digit value. Suppose I want to in byte byte b equal to 5. Then just tell me how how it will send byte 0 0 0 1 1, correct na? 8421 code 8421. Sorry, here 1 0. This binary disk we are sending data to the remote computer, right? Correct na? Through network we are sending data to remote. Okay, same thing. Used for sending data to store in a file or to send data through network in terms of binary digits value. Okay, I think you guys understood. Then one more is short. Short data type is used for storing values for processor level calculation. It is, but in regular program we are using int and long data type only. We are not use byte and short. Okay, whenever we are sending data to through network, that time we can use byte. But whenever we are where we have to use it to short data type for storing value for processor level calculation. Okay, then one more is character. What is the use of character? Character is character is any character you can enclose it with any character. Okay, here non-numeric data type. One is char, another one is boolean. Correct na? Here enclosed with any enclosed with single character or either enclosed with either single character or either either single character or empty space are allowed. But but What not allowed? Double space. For example, double space. One, double space not allowed. And two, enclosed with single character. You can single double digits or and any double characters are not allowed. Okay, only allowed single digits. Okay, or empty space or either single digits or empty space are allowed. Okay, Boolean is default value is false. Then now primitive data type is completed. Now we'll discuss what is the already any single character alphabets or digits or special character placed inside single quotes is called character. Okay. Here non-primitive. What is the Boolean? We will use Boolean value for checking condition purpose. Condition purpose we can use Boolean. Okay. Here what here can use here is the next is non-primitive or reference data type. Already we discussed single is you can single data type single value you can store single value you can store at a time in primitive data type. Multiple values you can store in you can create one group. Multiple value of one group with single name you can use non-primitive data type. Okay. Example arrays class interface enum. Any for storing what is the array? For storing multiple values for same type, we must use array. For example, for example, for example, here byte 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 b equal to byte b equal to 1, 2, 3, dash 100. Okay. How it will store? It will store 1, 2, 3, dash 100. Okay. For example, go to home. Then here, you can store like that, right? Suppose here small, sorry. No, it will show 1, 2, 3 dash 100. Okay, but here value C can start with 0. Can start with 0 and 1 array start with 0, right? Index start with 0 and 2 like that 99, right? This is the here address is 10, 10. Here data type is same, but multiple values we can store in multiple values we can store in single name. Correct? You can create one group, can store in only one value. Okay, like that one. Class also same. You can create one object. You can store different types of values, but here you can store here only single types of in arrays. In arrays, you can store only same types of okay. Okay, same type can store multiple values, but different types of value you can store in different what is that class to collect different types of values is called as class interface enum like that, right? For storing multiple constant values, if with fixed name is you can call it as enum. Okay, I think you guys can understood, right? Please like and subscribe. If any issue is, if you have any issue, please comment in. I have to respond anytime. Okay, thank you guys.